having a peaceful day or night. And thank you for choosing to spend part of your time here with us today. Whether you are joining from the United States, the UK, Europe, Asia, Australia, or anywhere else around the world, welcome. And if you are new to this channel, this is a space dedicated to conversations around literature, consciousness, inner growth, philosophy, and the works of the Chinese writer Xuemo. A lot of content online today moves very fast. Everything competes for attention. Short videos, breaking news, algorithms, constant stimulation. And because of that, many people feel mentally exhausted without even realizing it. People consume more information than ever before, but at the same time, many feel more internally lost than ever before. That is part of the reason why this channel exists. This is not a channel focused on quick emotional excitement. It is about shouting motivational slogans for a few minutes and then returning to the same confusion afterward. The goal here is different: to slow down a little, to think more deeply, to observe the human mind more honestly, and to explore how a person can gradually build a more stable and meaningful inner life. A lot of the ideas we discuss here are inspired by the writings of Xuemo. Xuemo is a contemporary Chinese writer whose books have reached readers across many countries and cultures. And over the years, he has written more than 80 titles covering literature, philosophy, traditional wisdom, human psychology, and spiritual reflection. And his books have been translated into more than 28 languages. And some people first discover Xuemo through his novels, others through his interpretation of Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching. And many readers encounter his works during periods of personal struggle, confusion, or transformation. One thing many readers notice very quickly is that Xuemo's writing does not try to flatter the ego. It doesn't simply tell people comforting things. Instead, it encourages deeper awareness, responsibility, self-observation, and understanding the deeper roots of suffering and attachment. A lot of modern culture teaches people to constantly chase the stimulation and external validation. But Xuemo's works often point in the opposite direction, toward stillness, toward awareness, toward discipline, toward inner freedom. And one reason many people resonate with these books is because they speak very directly about real human experience: fear, loneliness, anxiety, desire, meaning, emotional suffering, relationships, growth, and the question of how a person can live more consciously in modern society. So today, once again, we will spend some time reading and reflecting together. It is like an open conversation about life itself. If you are in the live stream, feel free to say hello in the chat and let me know where you are watching from. And if certain ideas resonate with you during the live stream, feel free to share your reflections as well. So if you enjoy this kind of content about the inner peace and self-growth, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel. You can also explore more of Xuemo's books through Amazon and the official website at shop.xuemo.com. So let's begin our tonight's live stream together. And I want to start from the topic of what shapes the destiny. The topic of what shapes the destiny. Xuemo often says that he grew up in the countryside without social background and without strong financial support. He experienced many hardships, setbacks, and even things that many people would call misfortune, but none of those ever shook his dream or his pursuit. Instead, every difficulty became a ladder that helped him move upward. Why? Because he transformed all of those experiences into nourishment for life itself. Under that nourishment, his inner world became stronger day by day. He also says that he was never someone skilled at managing relationships, nor interested in doing many things that clever people often enjoy doing. Yet in his life, several benefactors appeared, people who selflessly offered him real help. For that, he remains deeply grateful. And at the same time, he understands very clearly if he had been selfish, arrogant, or unwilling to grow, then those opportunities would naturally have gone to someone more worthy of receiving them. That is why he always tells his students, there is no failure, there is only giving up. Because although many factors determine whether something succeeds, if you continue without giving up, and if your direction is correct, one day you will reach your destination. Failure itself is not frightening. What is truly frightening is abandonment, because once a person gives up, it means that the heart has already begun to waver. And when the heart wavers, all precious perseverance loses its meaning. Every obstacle suddenly appears stronger than before. A person may completely lose direction and then day after day repeat the same mechanical life until precious life is quietly exhausted. So what is especially meaningful is that true growth often happens in places that the world does not notice, not during applause, not during success, but during long periods of silence, pressure, confusion, and persistence. A person may appear ordinary externally while internally going through enormous transformation. That transformation usually does not happen comfortably because life has a way of exposing weakness, attachment, fear, vanity, dependency, impatience to, and many people spend their whole life trying to avoid seeing those things within themselves. But some people choose another direction. Instead of escaping difficulty, they observe themselves through difficulty. Instead of blaming life, they ask what life is trying to reveal. And this gradually creates depth. Real depth is not built from theory alone. It is built from experience that has been consciously transformed. Two people may suffer the same setback. One becomes more bitter afterward. The other becomes calmer, clearer, and more compassionate. The difference is not the event itself. The difference is what each person does internally with that experience. And maybe this is also why some people naturally earn trust and support over time. Not because they are constantly trying to impress others, but because people can gradually feel sincerity, steadiness, and direction. There is a kind of quiet strength that cannot be faked for long. And over time, life itself begins responding differently to that kind of person. So it's talking about the quiet strength is the persistence. After your direction and your aspiration is clear, what determines your achievement is persistence. Yes. Hi, it is like the Windows system, the icon. Hello, is this Xuemo official channel? Yes, it is the Xuemo's official channel. Yes, please subscribe to our channel. So, how do you know Mr. Xuemo? Have you read any of Xuemo's works? Okay, subscribed. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And tell me where you're from and have you read any of Xuemo's works before? Let me charge mine. Oh, you know Xuemo from London a few months ago. So where? Because we visited many places there. Where do you know Xuemo? Let me know because I went there also. Oh, it is you. Okay, but I don't know exactly who you are. But yes, in book fair and during the book fair, we live in a hotel and I always do live stream near the piano. Yes, thank you. And so you also went to the book fair, right? And thank you for your support. So glad to see you here. Let me share this news with my colleague because after the live session, I will forget. Ah, yeah, I'm always doing the live stream beside the piano. Yeah, but I cannot remember who you are. Oh, how's the food in London? You know, the British breakfast put on me 5 kilogram. The British breakfast put on me 5 kilogram. So how's the food? I really enjoy it. The bacon, croissant, toast, the milk. Is Joanna as pretty in real life? Okay, tell him. I don't know. Joanna's not beautiful. Okay. Okay, I will share this good news.有一个观众过来看直播，然后他说我看起来很脸熟，他告诉我我们应该是在伦敦书展上见过，然后他会在酒店的时候看到我在1楼的钢琴边上直播。Hey, you guys. Yes, cheers. Thank you. Wow, it's so exciting to see you here. So how do you come to our channel? You receive some brochure or something and you scan the code or you just search for Xuemo? Thank you. Are you also a writer? A writer? Or what do you do? What are you going there for? Okay, and I think I asked someone about the channel, but I was there. They're just someone who reads books. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your time being here. Hope to see you again in the next year's London Book Fair. We'll definitely go there again. Yes. After the London Book Fair, we also give, Xuemo was invited to give speeches in 4 different universities. The University of Bath, the University of Bristol, the University of London, and the Oxford University. So we stayed in the UK for almost 1 month. Hi, so many new friends here, and wherever you are coming from, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Good blessing from China. Here we are mainly about the spiritual wisdom and human warmth, and self-growth, inner peace, clarity, consciousness, the nature of the mind, and the literature, and the human concerns found in the works by the Chinese writer Mr. Xuemo. So please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Yes, all our old friends here, welcome. So every day I'd like to repeat my aspiration. Yes, to repeat your aspiration is really important. Hi, if you have anything to talk about, please let me know. And the theme said, Jude, the main book we are promoting this year is Remain the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. This is available on Amazon, and it's so excited to see you here. And I really recommend you to read Xuemo's works, so we can talk more. Okay, you know Helena. Okay, then it is she, because yes, Helena is also there. Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. This is our main promoting book this year. This book is a wisdom guide that focuses on the mind and the nature of the mind, teaching modern individuals how to transform from slaves of the external world into masters of their own minds. Xuemo regards cultivating spiritual autonomy as the most important practice in life, and distills the traditional Mahamudra yoga into a form of mindful yoga that is easily understood by contemporary readers. Simpson, who do you respect the most in your life? No wonder, no doubt, Mr. Xuemo. I think you already know this answer, right? And the second most, who do I respect the second most? Wow, how can I say that? There are many people that is very great to the world, but I think if they don't influence my daily life, it is just like a far away story and someone in the news. Let me think about it. I think it may take time. Who is the third? I cannot think of anyone because because I'm really already very focused on our culture and very focused. I know my life goal, and we're focused on doing these things all related to this. My mind is seldomly attracted by the other things. So I have read so much. I know, I read a lot of biology. 自传怎么说？自传。I know a lot of great men, and I read a lot of autobiography. Yes, autobiography. So I read many great men's autobiography, but at this period of time, I'm no longer interested in those things or cultures or the person who is not related to my life goal. So all we focus on is Xuemo mythology, and the only one who I respect is Xuemo. So I like to repeat. It is very important to repeat your original aspiration every day. So I aspire to become a vessel and a carrier of Xuemo culture to realize the true mind and awaken to one's true nature, to abide steadily in the true mind and to walk the path of selflessness and benefiting others. I hope to follow Xuemo. Follow Xuemo, serving as a translator and assistant, and helping Xuemo's books truly take root in every country we reach. And may this life of mine be born for this vow, unmoved by regret or hesitation. May teacher Xuemo cut through the ashes of wavering aspiration and refine them into the burning fire of unwavering commitment. This is my aspiration. Autobiography of many, the stories of the stories and experiences of the great man. Why always great men? Why not great women? Yes, it is not about men or women. I mean the great ones. Okay, you are focused on the wrong point. So the importance is not the men or women, but I'm not interested in those men. And what I focus on at this period and in my future life is Xuemo mythology and promoting Xuemo's mythology, Xuemo's culture to the world internationally. And besides that, I'm not interested in anything. Every day, what we are doing, every day, every moment, you should pay attention and you should be aware of what you are doing. Is it related to your life goal or not? So if not, just remove it. What do you think? So do you have your life goal, like a lifetime career? You can leave your message and share with me. your life goal is to become a good human. Yeah, it is like uh, so your life goal is to become a good human. I think it's a good human. A good human means to. It is also a very important lesson for us, for me, to reshape the virtue, to build the good the build the virtue and to reshape ourselves. Yes, to benefit the others and bring the good, bring the good feeling to the others. To reshape virtue and to build inner character and reshape yourself continuously. Because modern society and the Western countries often teach people how to compete and how to appear successful. The success means the maybe the wealth, the big career, and they teach us how to gain attention. But very few people seriously and very few culture and the books teach how to become a better human being internally, right? How to become more sincere, more responsible, more compassionate, and more disciplined, and more aware of one's own ego and attachment. Hi, so many new friends here. Please subscribe to our channel. Hi, same voice message. I'm afraid of shining and doing bad to others because I have to face Jesus Christ on judgment day. Okay, okay, that's good. Coffee country women are always great, and that's always men who never talks or remember their contribution. Yes, of course, women are always great. Women are like the competition drives innovation. Don't you think so? Yes, and on one side, yes, competition drives innovation, and the other side, it brings a lot of anxiety and it brings a lot, the most obviously, it brings the uh, harm to the world. You know, for animals, they just compete for their living, basic living, and the environment won't be uh, harmed completely, but human beings can. We never feel enough, but the animals they only compete and fight for basic living, but no more. World word actually starts with alphabet W. This proves women and the world together from the start. Wow, nice ex explanation. Nice explanation. And to be a good person means you have the you pro you have the virtue, and the real virtue is not performance. It is not pretending to be kind externally while remaining chaotic internally. Real virtue gradually transforms the way a person thinks, reacts, speaks, and treats others. And this kind of reshaping is not easy because many times we must confront parts of ourselves that we do not want to see, like pride, jealousy, fear, emotional dependence, vanity, self-centeredness. But if a person sincerely continues observing and correcting themselves, little by little, real transformation begins happening. And maybe this is why inner cultivation is a lifelong process. Because becoming a truly good human being is far deeper than simply achieving external success. It requires awareness every day, correction every day, humility every day, and the willingness to keep reshaping oneself again and again. Coffee Country's message. The most sad word for me is competition. I never understand why we are running in a race with people we even don't know. If you read in detail about ladder competition, it was discovered to bring all people together. But we humans changed this word to a race with others. This is sad. Yes, we are. I totally agree with you that we're running in a race with people who even don't know. And there is a saying very interesting that only if your neighbor lives a better life than you, it will keep you uh, running all the time, all your life, and never stop. So it is just a matter that you yourself will have a life that you will compare yourself to the others and never stop. There's no ending. The neighbor means your real neighbor and your society, your relatives. But there are different levels and different aspects of life. So maybe on this aspect you compare to him, oh, you're not enough. You want to gain more or to be the same like them. So the purchase, the comparing and the competing is never end. Hi, Girl Hunter. Hello, welcome. And because of social media, this competition and comparison almost never stops anymore. It becomes more serious, right? And many people, when they wake up, they just open the social media and like to check the reels and the short videos, and will immediately put the attention is put by the society, and we will expect for all those lifestyles and the others. And what usually happens is that we compare. Most people will compare their real life with with the with the ones that carefully edited fragments from strangers, and this creates endless restlessness. So there is no finish line because no matter how much someone achieves, and there will always be another person who appears richer, more successful, more attractive, or more recognized. And there are many different aspects in life. So if life is built entirely on comparison, inner peace becomes almost impossible. And the tragedy is most of the people never even stop and ask. Like how country asked, why am I running? We just like the rat racing. And why am we like coffee country have started to ask, and but most people don't. Why am running? Who decided this standard? And this even the life I truly want? Most of society constantly pushes people outward, like a more wealth, more achievement, more visibility, more competition. But very few people are taught how to return inward and how to feel enough, how to live without constantly proving oneself, and to really appreciate life without turning everything into competition. But so that's why Xuemo's work is so important for us. It is a different direction and a different definition about success. Okay, Go Hunters message. Do you know the reason for downfall of communism worldwide? Communism worldwide. Coffee country, everyone wants to win competition. Even some competitions are not visible to eyes, but human taking participant in them. Yes, we don't even know who creates these. Yes. Um, Communism. Do you mean 共产主义? Oh, it's such a deep question. It is like more about politics, right? Everyone wants to, yeah. It is like the diamond, and the capital creates the concept of the diamond. So actually, it is only a stone, a different form of stone, and they created the concept that it is very precious. So they promote the diamond, and they earn a lot of money. So that is like advertising from the capital. Then the concept are started to take root in our mind, and we will see the diamond as the most very uh, the treasure, the treasure, and actually it is just a different form of stone, and how that is a lot of things happening very similar to the diamond. That's why we keep on racing, and maybe our most of our lives are shaped by the capitalism, capitalist, like the capital. Coffee countries message: every human, every animal, every born and grow without their own mind and limitations. We should never insult anyone for their limits. Of course, there is only difference between different individuals, but there is no good or bad. Like which one is better is which one is worse. Hi, Apex. Hello, welcome. Please subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and thank you for your time. Go Hunter. I'm not ignoring your message, but it's so deep. I seldom talk about politics. What I'm interested is in maybe the daily life and about the mind and what can reshape our personality, the virtue, the nature of the mind. And these are also the themes and topics in Xuemo's works. So I'm more interested in these like inner strength, self-growth, inner peace, these kind of topics. Hi, country 29, and live my life normal and happy, but everything people compare to start list me in a competition. This make me emotional and sad. You know, I think we cannot change the environment, but you can build your own small environment and more focused on what you really want to do in your life. And you can ask the question like, are you going to regret doing this today? The things you are doing today, the time where you spend your time, the things you are doing today will be regret if you are going to die tomorrow. Ask this question, then you will find the the, the answer and focus on what you should do. And do not focus on the whole environment because no one can change the whole environment. But you can, for yourself, you can focus on the life goal and do things that related to your life goal. That the one thing, if you don't do that, you will be regret if you die. What do you think? Focus on what you should do, but not the things that you cannot change. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Nick. Hi, Arjit. Hi, Nick. I'm Chinese, and we are introducing the works by the Chinese writer, Mr. Xuemo. He has written over 80 titles, and the main book we are promoting this year is Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart. And hi, Mason. Long time no see. Several days no see. It is like long time no see. Do you believe that Kurdistan should be a country? I don't know. Sorry, I don't know Kurdistan. Hi, Arjit. Sachin, bookish knowledge and external knowledge are completely different. Yes, of course. And we should transcend the knowledge to our daily life nourishment. Mainly enough than just a craving. Hello, is that gold on your? How can you be so dedicated to read books that much dedication that focusing this in the real age? Oh, Obian, yes. If you never had the reading habit and you already as maybe you are an adult, then yes, it is hard. It is difficult to um, to have a reading habit, to start a reading habit. It is hard. But if it is like a skill at a very young age, it is easier to have, to have the habit of reading. Of course, every country is a different world. Yes, every country is a different world, and every book is a different world for your mind. Reading a book is like traveling. Your mind is traveling to a different world. So reclaim the throne of your heart by Xuemo. Okay. Anything you want to. So I want to, I don't know how to express, and I will use my cell phone to translate it. About the reading habit. 所以呢，刚才有人在说，在这样的一个短视频的时代，如何去专注的读书？我觉得呢，如果你已经是成人了，然后你从来没有阅读习惯，然后又已经非常习惯于刷短视频，那肯定是很难再去建立这个读书的习惯的。但是小孩子是很容易培养的。如在他很小的年纪的时候，还没有接触这些电视、视频、电子设备之前，先给他听书，亲自给他读书，然后就先不要接触电子设备，先给他阅读，那他就会习惯于阅读，因为而且这个对开发想象力更加的重要，因为在读的过程中，那些画面是要自己脑袋里呈现的，而那些电子设备啊、电视啊、电影都是被动的、被输入的，你自己是没有想象的，是被输入的。而且如果他一开始习惯于这种电影啊、视频啊，因为他1秒钟有24帧的画面，他就很难再把注意力集中下来了，因为他是被快速的被喂养这些画面，而不是自己主动产生想象力去想那些画面。所以基于我的这些说法，然后再翻译，并且扩展。Obian, I have many things to say about watch video or reels and reading books, but it is hard to express that. So I translated them. I speak it in Chinese and translated them. My own idea was translated by the AI. So how can people stay focused on reading in the age of short videos? My personal opinion, honestly, I think if someone is already an adult, has never built a reading habit, and has spent years becoming deeply accustomed to short videos and constant digital stimulation, then rebuilding deep reading ability can be very difficult, isn't it? Not impossible, but difficult. Because the brain adapts to whatever it consumes repeatedly, and short videos constantly train attention to move quickly. Fast cuts, fast stimulation, fast emotional reaction, and everything is designed to hold attention externally every second. And after enough repetition, the mind gradually loses tolerance for slowness. Do you think so? As silence becomes uncomfortable, stillness becomes difficult. Even reading a few pages can begin to feel exhausting. But children are different. Children are much easier to shape, especially before they become deeply exposed to screens, short videos, and constant electronic stimulation. At that stage, if parents personally read to them, tell stories, and help them build a relationship with books first, reading can naturally become part of their inner world. And I think this is extremely important for imagination. Because when you read a book, the images are not externally given to you. You must create them internally. The forest, the city, the characters, the atmosphere, the emotions, everything must be imagined actively inside the mind. And this process trains inner creativity and concentration very deeply. But movies, television, and short videos work differently. The images are already finished for you. The rhythm is decided for you. The emotions are guided for you. You are mainly receiving stimulation passively. And especially with short videos, the speed becomes extreme. A film already contains around 24 frames every second, but short form media compresses stimulation even further. Constant movement, constant novelty, constant dopamine. So after a child becomes deeply accustomed to that kind of stimulation, it becomes much harder for them to sit quietly and generate imagination from within. Because external generated images are replacing internally generated imagination. And I think this is one of the deeper culture changes happening today. People consume more visual stimulation than any generation before. But at the same time, many people's inner imagination, attention span, and reflective ability are weakening. And maybe this is why reading still matters so much, not only because books contain knowledge, but because deep reading trains an entirely different relationship with the mind. Patience, concentration, inner imagination, reflection, silence, and the ability to stay with one thing deeply instead of constantly jumping between stimulation. And honestly, in today's world, that ability is becoming more and more rare. Coffee country, I'm already dying by thoughts. Last year, I lost my dad. My dad always wants to see me successful. Life, I not achieved that success. He passed away with felt sad thoughts. This hurting me all. Oh, sorry to hear that, Coffee Country. But he's your parent. Yes, you should respect him, and I think you should have your independent life. Do not live in the regret. You own your independent. So everyone should live his own life. And if he have a expectation of his imagination of the success of life, then he should live that kind of life, not you. You should define your successful life, right? So don't be regret. Just give him blessing. Yes. Are you still there? I don't know whether you're still there. Go Hunter, what's wrong? Chinese language sounds funny. Thank you. Okay, you're happy guy. Oh, the sound isn't clear. Sorry about that. It is because the network still doesn't work good and not audible. These days, I feel if I do it consciously, I will. It is very easy for me to feel the wholeness, the oneness. But during these days, even without I do it for consciously, you know, I still, I just experience the wholeness, like every moment of my life. I don't need to do it at certain times when I'm not working, when I'm not like doing the other things. But I have a like 1 hour just for myself. I don't need to do that. But the whole day is like I'm experiencing the wholeness. So most of the time I'm feeling the wholeness, the oneness. But still there is also false mind there. It brings me some emotion. So but I see myself making the progress, and I'd like to know how to stay in the true mind and without those false mind that bring me the down emotions. It is like the dark clouds in the sky, and I feel I'm experiencing and feel the whole blue sky all the time, but there is always still some clouds there. Why I'm so hungry. And so I know I am making huge progress. And if you are also on the way of building your inner world, rebuilding your inner world, and you can read this book together with me, Reclaim the Throne of Your Heart by Xuemo. And this is available on Amazon. You can search for Xuemo, 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 Xuemo on Amazon and find this yellow book. Yes, the yellow book here. So I can only touch the stillness or wholeness during specific moments, maybe during meditation, reading, prayer, or during periods of silence or solitude. But these days, I think the awareness deepens and something changes. The separation between practice and the daily life begins dissolving, and the wholeness is no longer something I experience or visit temporarily. It starts becoming the background of life itself. Yeah, that's the correct expression. The wholeness is no longer just something experienced at certain times, but it starts becoming the background of my life, my daily life. So even while working, talking, or like here, I'm doing the live stream, my awareness still remains connected to that openness and wholeness, and it is very significant. But even though the wholeness has already become the background of my daily life, but the false mind still appears. The false mind still appears, and clouds still appear in the sky. I don't know whether it is for me. I am consciously imagining awakening is a state where no difficult emotions even appear again. But is it the truth? Maybe now I can see the crowds. Maybe awareness, the awakening don't mean there's no clouds in the sky. but you can see the clouds, but you are not completely becoming the clouds. So the difference is already very enormous. And perhaps, just perhaps, I'd like to remove all the clouds, but maybe the goal is not to violently eliminate every cloud, because the moment a person aggressively fights the mind, another layer of struggle often appears. The deeper movement is usually gentler. Awareness becomes more stable. Less identified with passing emotions, less frightened by temporary darkness. And over time, the clouds naturally lose power because they are no longer constantly fed by unconscious identification. So it is a news that good news that the sky, the blue sky is always there, even before. But before the clouds were so dense that they covered everything. But now the sky itself has become more visible. And once a person truly appears, experience that the openness even once life usually cannot fully return to the old unconscious state anymore. So maybe the path now is not forcing myself to become perfectly cloudless, but learning to remain rooted in the vastness of the sky itself. Even while weather continues changing, even while emotions still move, even while the human side of life still exists, because the deep awareness is not destroyed by those passing clouds. And maybe little by little, the stable openness itself will become the real home. I hope this will happen, and to reach that, to reach the wholeness and the stillness and calmness, you can read this book as a start, as a beginning, because it transcends the traditional wisdom into daily life practice. So you can follow that step by step. It's about master your mind and master your destiny. Okay, and it is about the mind and the nature of the mind, this book. So I'd like to share the preface. The topic is what is a heart? Or you can say what is a mind? If you have your opinion to share, please share with me. Leave your message here. Yeah. Enjoy the quietness. Okay, what is a heart? Throughout the ages, sages and masters have written volumes upon volumes about the heart. Yet for many in this era, the heart remains merely a word. Hi, Forbidden,冰淇淋, the ice cream. Hello, welcome. I've spoken extensively on the subject. The heart I speak of here